Alright, and they're off.
So, this is Plains, the beginning level of the game. It's a pretty straightforward level. As you can see, Plague Knight's movement is really aerial. They're going to be utilizing bomb burst buffering, which lets you continue to burst without throwing a bomb and stopping your momentum.
Yeah, Plague Knight is really slow when he walks, but really fast when he's in the air. So they're basically going to be spending the whole game jumping and bursting as long as possible. And as you saw on that dragon, they're also going to be utilizing some damage boosts, which sends Plague Knight really far. So you can get some pretty interesting skips just by like turning around and taking damage. Gives you some invincibility, and you go fast and far. What are words?
So coming up in a little bit is the only zip of the run. It skips about a room and a half, I think. So it'll be coming up right here.
A room and a, yeah, right here. Basically what's happening is you're going higher than the game thought you could and hitting a loading zone that the game didn't know exists, and the game panics and shoots you into the next room. It saves about 10 seconds, so like even if you fail it a couple times, it's still worth doing.
So both runners are coming up on Black Knight 1. This fight can be a little tricky if you don't get the stun lock, but it looks like both runners got it. So that was a really clean fight.
Yeah, it looked easy on their end, but if you miss one of those bombs and he escapes, you can lose a lot of time. He's actually really hard for a first boss of the game.
Yeah. So next, Plague Knight has to go to the village, just like Shovel Knight, but in Shovel you'll pretty much just go into the village and leave, but there's some extra stuff Plague Knight has to do. He has to go unlock a secret lair. And
yeah, blow up that poor hedgehog's house.
Yeah. And you basically return to this just for a brief moment after every stage.
Yeah, this is Plague Knight's hub level. It's called the Potionarium. It's basically where you go to buy all your upgrades, but that's really slow, so on any percent we're not really going to be buying upgrades very much.
So there's a little... Oh, sorry, you can go.
Yep, so we're seeing our first divergence with the routes. Because Exploud's taking up Big Boom, which is one of the sub-weapons in the game, he's going to the Lich Guard first, that way he can afford it. And Muncha is going to Pridemore just because it's a little bit faster with map movement if you're not buying it.
So Lich Guard is the spooky scary themed level. Hazards, as you can see, include RNG frogs, dark rooms like this one, and platforms that'll move up and down if there's two objects on them. Dark rooms aren't super bad because, you know, runners have muscle memory for them. There's one room in particular that combines all three of the hazards I just went off on. That can be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, and Exploud's coming up on it right now. This room is so bad. It's really easy to lose a lot of time here just because the frogs don't like to cooperate. And over on Munch's screen, he's in Pridemore Keep, which is pretty straightforward, except it has really low ceilings that make it really hard to do your burst patterns.
Book Room is actually a little bit scary. You'll have to deboost off this propeller rat. Some people do. Muncha didn't. But
that was actually an interesting backup deboosting off of that lava.
But the rat can move out of the way a little bit and then just kind of screw you over.
Yeah, there's a great clip on my channel where the rat jukes me like 5 times.
Oh god. So this is King Knight. He's not a super hard boss. You just kind of want to get him into the corner and kind of whale him with bombs. Exploud's doing Spectre Knight, which can be a little bit tricky. He's a little RNG as to where he teleports. A quick kill is basically before he turns off the lights.
Yeah. Muncha got a pretty clean King Knight kill. And looks like Exploud's having a little bit of trouble with Spectre Knight. Oh, yeah. Missed his last... Oh, no! He died to him. That's not good.
And you think he has to collect the money, too.
Oh, and he missed the platform. This is not great.
Yeah, you want to burst onto that, first platform right as you get into the room for positioning.
Yeah, now we're gonna see Muncha do everything that Exploud just did. Okay, he got him this time.
He didn't collect the money bag, which he might be a little bit short on money, but I think he can make it up in card more.
Yeah, that's a tiny money bag, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Big Boom only costs 2,500, so there's plenty of backup money later in the game.
So normally in Shovel Knight, you'll find this guy Chester, and he'll give you like in Shovel Knight's campaign, they're called relics. In Plague it's Arcana, so you'd find Chester, and he'd just straight up sell you the relic. In Plague Knights, you can buy Arcana, the sub-weapons, in two ways. You either have to go through a separate alternate path to go grab the relics that you normally find in Shovel Knight's campaign, bring them to Chester, and he'll give you the Arcana, or you can go straight to Chester and buy it, but it's usually way more expensive. So money management, in that case, comes into play there.
Yeah. And for anyone who thinks it's over already, like I said earlier, this game's really hard and anything could happen.
Yeah, especially since there's a lot of deboosting going on and Plague's really slippery. Health management can sometimes be really hard, also spikes, other hazards that just can one-shot you.
Yep. And now we're seeing Exploud enter the room that Muncha skipped, because all you do in this room is grab Big Boom. And that's going to create the big difference between these routes. Big Boom does that little cross explosion you just saw, which is going to be useful for destroying blocks. It also makes boss kills a little bit easier, and it also causes you to reach your maximum fall velocity instantly, so you can use it as a frame saver in some rooms. Muncha got a really solid kill on Spectre.
Also, as you saw there earlier, Plague Knight basically crammed himself into the little Shovel Knight-shaped hole to get into that room.
Yeah, hitting that door fast is like actually impossible.
So Muncha, after he finishes up Lich-Yard and does this one quick cutscene, he'll be coming up on Explodatorium, which is basically Plague Knight's home. It's a little bit tricky because there's some global cycles you have to keep in mind for. It applies to the fire in one section of the level, and the pot lids. Also to note, in Shovel Knight's campaign and Spectre Knight's campaign, you'll fight Plague Knight, but if you're playing as Plague Knight, then you're going to get a completely different boss.
Yeah, and Exploud got a really, really good kill on King Knight. That's actually a new kill that Patois found with Big Boom, and I'm definitely going to be picking that up in Hundo. One thing I forgot to mention is after this cutscene here, you get an automatic free health upgrade, which is really nice because we don't have to worry about our health late game, and it gives us access to more damage boosts than the other two campaigns would.
Also, you can skip the animation of Plague Knight drinking the health tonic, not the health tonic, the health potion, by just pressing start, or whatever button you have mapped to that. And I didn't know that for like the longest time.
Yeah, you take a really fast sip.
One big sip.
This is Alchemeister. He starts off as this wizard dude with a fantastic beard throwing potions. He drinks one of the potions and now he's a persona.
Oh my god.
Yeah, these fire cycles right here are the big worry when it comes to what cycle you're on. Because like if you're on the wrong cycle, it can really throw off your burst patterns.
As you saw Muncha just do there, you can burst onto that second ladder from the bottom screen. It's a little bit tricky, but it's possible. So this room, you want to get your health to either 2 bubbles or less. That's the setup for the boss, which is coming up really soon. And the prize, it's Shovel Knight. So you want to get him into the corner, basically, and then just lob bombs onto him, basically mash the button out as fast as you can to put him in the crying crater. You might get out if you don't mash hard enough. Also,
Alright, Muncha got a really good fight.
Yeah.
So Shovel Knight has access to most of the relics he has in his main game, including his Ichor, which refills his health, and Flare Rod, Chaos Spheres, and Phase Locket, which turns him invincible. And that's the reason you want to manage your health and make it low. If you have less than 2 health, Yacht Club decided that you're doing too bad for him to turn invincible, so he doesn't. And that's like super critical in getting that stun lock.
He also has the War Horn, which you don't get until like Polar Night stage a whole world later, which basically just imply that this is like New Game Plus Night.
There was a question about it in chat. Ichor Skip actually isn't RNG. It's all timing based. Basically what happens is you have to hit him at the same moment that he's using his War Horn. Basically he uses Ichor after taking 6 hits. And if he would drink Ichor while doing another animation, he just won't do it.
Also, Shovel Knight just changed color at the end of Exploud's. All of Plague's color codes, which is why Exploud's like a slightly more saturated color of Plague Knight than Muncha. Each of Plague's color codes, like Shovel Knight has one for the same color code. So it's just an aesthetic thing.
Yeah. And Muncha's in Iron Will. Exploud's going to be joining him shortly. This is the water level. Unlike most video games, the water level in this game doesn't suck. Basically, all you do is you just fall a bit slower and jump a little bit higher. And, yeah. Coming up is one of our favorite mini-bosses in this game.
Oh god.
His name is Teethalon, but nobody calls him that. Everybody in the speedrunning community calls him 420 Fish, because he has a tendency to get too high to hit. You'll see some runners just like keep bursting and the water physics will keep them in the air. Or water, I guess. But Muncha's gonna just start from the platform right here. Oh, something happened to the stream.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a pause on Munch's side. So with Teethalon 420 Fish, you're gonna wanna the treasure chest on its angler will open up, and then you want to hit the core inside. Oh no. Something's happening to Munch's screen, but we'll try get it sorted out, hopefully.
We're currently running at 2 frames per minute. I think Muncha got a really good 420 kill, but I'm not quite sure. Looks like Exploud's having a little bit of trouble. He missed the 1 cycle, which is unfortunate. There we go.
Yeah, hopefully...
Looks like we're gonna need to resync in a little bit, but he's back.
So...
Oh no.
Small slip on Exploud's side. So Muncha's coming up on Treasure Knight, who's not a particularly hard boss, but again, he's a little bit of an RNG boss. One big thing you don't want to do, after he gets to a certain health, he'll throw out this like treasure chest, and it can suck you in and steal a little bit of your money, which again, we're gonna need a little bit of money to buy the Staff of Striking a little bit later.
Yeah. And Muncha got a really solid kill. If you get hit by the chest, it does 2 damage, and you lose 500 gold. And 500 doesn't seem like much, but because we need so much money later on, it actually is pretty significant. That's the thing you don't want to see from Treasure Knight, is him going up to the ceiling, because wastes a few seconds, and if you happen to kill him while he's up there, the boss kills don't actually end until the boss hits the ground, and since the water physics are there, he kind of takes a long time to hit the ground.
So, Muncha's coming up on or doing Lost City right now. We have a lot of names for this level: Lost City, Time Lost City, Lost.jpg City. It's the lava level, and there's 2 kind of big skips to like these pseudo auto-scrollers, the beetle skips, which Muncha just did. They're not particularly hard, but they're scary because there's a lot of stuff falling on you and lava all below. Normally you have to ride the bouncy beetle over the lava, but because we're Plague, we can just skip over all of that.
Yeah, why play levels when you can just burst over them?
Also,
Muncha's being a little safer than I'd prefer, taking that turkey when he only took 2 damage. But, whatever he wants to do.
There's also these exploding blocks in the level, which you have to not go crazy on the bursts, because the floor can just like explode up from under you and you'll just fall into the lava. Another mechanic in this level are the green blobs that'll turn the lava into bouncy goo.
This one right here is really scary because if you accidentally throw 5 bombs, there's nothing you can do to stop yourself from dying. I don't know how Muncha didn't get hit by that big dude.
Yeah, I always get hit by the mole warrior there.
Yeah, so do I. Like, I've tried doing Muncha's method of not getting hit, and I can't do it.
So this is Mole Knight. He's a kind of tricky. Did you really want to get him before he digs back to the ground? Because he'll have a lot of like time of invincibility. You can't hit him or anything like that. So hopefully Muncha will get it.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, there we go. His next phase, he like digs into the ground. You gotta go find him, and then he'll like spew lava for like what feels like forever.
I just realized it's a game of whack-a-mole.
Oh my god. You're not wrong.
Wow. Good job, Yacht Club. Exploud's actually made up a whole bunch of time. I can't believe he's right behind Muncha.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
Yeah.
So then,
especially considering Big Boom takes about 25 seconds to get.
So Muncha is moving on to World 3, and the next level in the route is Flying Machine, because that's where the Staff of Striking is.
More like Dying Machine, am I right?
Yeah. If you played Shovel Knight, you'll know this level is awful. It's still kind of awful as Plague, but not as much.
It's awful in every campaign. And it also has the most important sub-weapon in every campaign, so hey, thanks, Yacht Club.
Yeah. Yeah, there's wind, there's our favorite enemies, the hover minis, or as the community calls them, Jawas. The boss of this level is also pretty tricky too.
Yeah, we found some easier kills recently, but he's still really hard.
This mini-boss coming up on Muncha's side is the Dinghy Dropper. It's not too hard, but the bombs, if you happen to hit them, they do a lot of damage. That was a really quick kill.
Yeah, it took some backup health. Normally you see runners kill it in the air and then immediately burst out of the screen.
Muncha picking up the Staff of Striking right now, also known as the Slap Staff.
Yeah. It's a really, really good sub-weapon. Like, every time you press the button, he hits, and it does so much damage so fast. So here's Triple Jawas, the best room in the game. Muncha got through it just fine, but that has killed many runs for many runners, including top runners.
Yeah, that room can be really scary. So while the runners are getting through these and Munch is going through an auto-scroller, Plague's magic, like, he'll regenerate it, as you can see, but you don't want to run that meter out all the way, or else he'll recover magic at a slower rate. So the Staff of Striking basically lets you go ham on a lot of bosses, but you don't want to go too crazy and overdo it, or else it'll take forever to let you use magic again.
Yeah, and once you run out, you can't use it until you're at max power again. Okay, Muncha got that backup gold, and I'm curious to see if he's gonna get max magic right after this stage. Ooh, getting the 1 cycle wind tunnel, that's really good.
Yeah, Wind Room is scary.
That's super consistent, but still scary every time. Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no, how...
Oh no.
How's he gonna get that money? I don't think he can.
Yeah.
And now Explode is right behind him.
There's some backup things for money. Normally in the route, there's no checkpoint breaks. Some people pick up a music sheet and Explodatorium because it's just right in the way if you do that room correctly. But
yeah,
I'm not sure if it'll be enough.
Yeah, I had mentioned getting extra money or extra magic after the stage, but you can reroute and just do it after Polar Night, and it's no big deal at all. Oh, he's just breaking that checkpoint, but that's not going to be enough for the extra magic after this, so I don't know why he did that. Let's hope he doesn't die to this boss.
So Propeller Knight can be a little bit tricky.
Ooh, good kill by
Quick
Explode.
kill. Basically, when he's up in the air, you want to stop him with the staff. Or you can do what Explode just did. But Propeller Knight opens up the floor, as you can see on Munch's side, and he can knock you right into one of those pits.
Yeah. One of his attacks is he uses the propeller on his head to blow wind at you and just kind of push you into the pit, and that's real fun. Also, Explode's now in the lead for the first time, which is insane. Oh, here's Black Knight again.
So in Shovel's campaign, you can actually skip Black Knight too, but for plot reasons, Plague has to fight him. There is a stun lock on him, it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah, Explode's gonna go for it. You can have the right setup and almost the right timing, but if you mess it up by like a couple frames, this happens. Okay, he still got a good kill. And Muncha got the perfect stun lock, so wow. Good stuff.
Are they basically synced up at this point?
Yeah, I think Explode's like a second, no, like 3 seconds ahead.
Oh. So basically, for plot reasons, Mona's gone and Percy's there. Also, look, Sad Mountain.
Oh, does Muncha not know he doesn't have enough money? Okay, he's gonna sell that music sheet. I disagree with selling that music sheet because it costs like 8 seconds to do so. But whatever.
So Explode's coming up on Stranded Ship, which is, oh my god. I hate this level. There's like a lot of the enemies will just body you. They'll do a lot of damage. There's spikes everywhere. Ice isn't too much of a problem, but because you'll like burst over it anyway. But Plague goes at 60 miles per hour normally, and when you add ice into the mix, it's kind of weird.
Oh, I just noticed he didn't buy all of his magic. He bought tonics. I wonder if that was intentional or if he doesn't realize.
Yeah.
Man, that Hammer Brothers room is so much easier with Big Boom.
Yeah, normally you'd have to take a D-boost and then just, like, go.
Yeah.
A lot of these rooms are scary. That ladder room is terrifying.
Yeah. Munch is taking the safe here.
Also, the chat is honking because there was a car that honked on my end.
Yeah, I heard it.
The room Exploud's going through right now is kind of scary, but basically you'll just burst and deboost through it.
Oh no!
Coming up is right. Oh no, Muncha.
That's not good.
So Exploud's doing Polar Knight. He's not too bad of a boss. The spikes can be kind of scary, but usually we'll just retain iframes through them.
Yeah, the goal is definitely to kill Polar before he even makes the spikes. But if he does, you generally want to like deboost off one of his snowballs and then just stand on the spikes.
Exploud going to buy his magic right now.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't also buy tonics. A lot of runners have been talking about buying tonics there just for safety during boss rush.
Yeah, you can. I think boss rush sometimes provides you with tonics, but it's a little risky to take them because you might get knocked into the chicken, which we'll talk about later, but you really don't want that.
Yeah. Now Munch is on Polar Knight, while Exploud's going through Clockwork Tower, which is actually one of the easiest stages in the game. Has some interesting movement tech you have to do, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the one big thing that looks really cool, looks kind of scary, is the auto-scroller skip. It's a pseudo auto-scroller skip because they don't make you sit through all of it. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's coming up in like 2 screens.
Yeah. Also, I saw someone in the chat called Polar Knight Santa Claus, which is also accurate.
Here it is. So in this room, this platform starts moving, and you're supposed to ride it all the way across, but that takes almost a minute. So we're just like, nah, we're just gonna deboost and walk on these spikes.
You can also like deboost off that gold armor in that second section there for safety, but Muncha didn't do that, or Exploud didn't do that.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple runners just stop doing that, and it's interesting. I think Tolu didn't get hit by it either.
So this is another auto-scroller.
Yeah, you can't
whatever.
skip this one, unfortunately.
That cog slaughter on the ladder that Muncha just passed, not the one with the 2 cog slaughters, I've seen people have problems getting through that, because sometimes they'll just get bodied off the ladders.
Yeah, there's a couple pixels where if he hits you, you'll just drop, instead of, like, just getting bopped. And, that costs like 4 seconds. There's a deboost that, I started using that is a lot safer and more consistent. And, oh, okay, he got it. That looks really scary.
So Exploud's doing Tinker Knight right now. He has 2 phases. The first one's kind of a joke boss, because he takes 2 hits for every one hit that you deal to him. The second phase is the Tinker Tank. This is what you really want Staff of Striking for. When Tinker lunges back when the tank lunges back into the wall like that, you can kind of get some hits on him, even though you're not really supposed to.
Oh, I just noticed Muncha went back and bought all his magic after Polar Knight.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even see that.
Also, just to note, you can find tonics in dirt flies just like Muncha just did. Unless you get the upgrade, which we don't in this route, you'll only be able to carry 5 at one time.
There's unfortunately not a single category that gets the upgrade because Baz is slow.
Yeah.
So, Exploud's done with the Order of No Quarter. Finished collecting all of their essences and making what's called the Master Potion, I think it's called?
The Serum Supernus, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. Plague Knight doesn't really know what he does. He's just making it for plot. It's just a MacGuffin. And now Exploud's in Tower 1, which is one of the scarier stages. They're kind of like, hey, you know how to play this game. Let's throw literally everything at you.
Yeah, it's the big test of it. Kind of like a Wily stage. This is Crusher Room. There's one skip coming up real quick. It looks kind of scary. Apparently not super hard to do. I haven't actually tried it myself.
Oh, Pika Pete's right. You buy the tonics from Chester. I was thinking about Baz because he actually steals tonics from the Magicist. Exploud got through there kind of slow. You can go much faster, but it's way better to just take it slow if you even think that you're gonna go, like, even think that you're gonna die.
Yeah, especially in a race. That Chandelier room, it's not too hard, but it looks really messy because there's a lot of deboosting going on. The top route is easier for that room. The bottom route is quicker, but it's really scary.
Yeah, he almost didn't make it, it looked like.
This pseudo-dark room, the rain room, there's some invisible platforms, or fake platforms, and the only way to tell which ones are real and which ones are fake is how the rain falls on them. Coming up is Black Knight 3. Again. Which is also an awful boss. He teleports, he grows wings because Red Bull, I guess. Exploud, getting teleport skip. You can lob a bomb at him to knock him out of that, or else he does this. You can't really stun lock this Black Knight, but Staff makes pretty quick work of him.
Yeah, he got a pretty good kill. Not ideal. You definitely want the teleport skip, but it's not, like, mandatory or anything. And, he also killed him on the right, which is ideal, because when that cutscene happens, Plague's gonna walk to the end of the stage, and if you're on the left, it takes him a long time to get to the end. We call it the walking shame.
Muncha coming up on Black Knight 3, let's see how he does. Or skip. He maybe could have gotten it, but decided to wait. Exploud's doing Tower 2 now. Similar to Tower 1, where they just throw everything at you. Oh no. Yeah, this room can... It's not that... It doesn't look that hard, but it can just... There's lava, so it's scary.
It's really scary, yeah. We call this the Mario Maker room, because there's just random blocks and slimes and lava, and, like, it looks like a fan made it.
Yeah. I also call it the Slime Rancher room. So this room that Exploud's in right now, it's not... It's really easy. on any percent, because you can just go over the top. But if you play Hundo, you gotta get all those Cypher coins.
It's
Oh god.
one of the worst experiences of my life collecting those coins.
I think Eric mentioned it earlier, but the coins are used to turn in for bomb upgrades, but we just stick with the regular set, because it takes, I think, 2 tiers, the second upgrade of Cypher coins, to get anything good out of it, and that's slow.
Yeah.
So really only in Hundo you change up your bomb loadout.
Yeah, you can see they've only gotten like 58 coins. It's like 120 coins to get the good bombs, so it doesn't make any sense to get them in any percent. They don't even save all that much time.
And people have been saying, if you collect 69 coins by the end of the run, you are the true winner.
Yeah, and it looks like neither of them are going to get that, so they're both disqualified.
So this is another auto-scroller. If you're fast enough, and you make it to the top, you can actually get stuck in a block. Makes it a little bit, I wouldn't say safer, but at least you wouldn't have to deal with the rats running around too much, or the liquid.
Yeah, and you just saw Explode clip through those blocks. It's definitely safer, because like you won't even aggro those liquid samurai.
So this is oh, sorry, go.
Now we're coming up on boss rush. Gonna be fighting every boss that we fought before. The order they come in is random, except Polar Knight's always gonna be in the first 3, and Shovel Knight's always gonna be last.
Yeah, they didn't want you getting through like almost all of the knights, and then you get to Polar Knight, you accidentally step on a spike, and then you have to do the whole thing over again. So Yacht Club was nice and decided to put him within the first 3.
At least they were nice about one thing.
The entire boss rush is kind of scary and kind of mean, because you want to manage your health again for Shovel Knight as the last battle. But as these zitter plays come out, you could accidentally like fall into them. Explode might just missed it. And you again want to be at 2 health or less to make sure Shovel Knight doesn't use the face locket.
Yeah, no joke, when you're at higher levels of gameplay and going for that stun lock on Shovel Knight, the turkey is literally the hardest part of this fight.
Also, it's interesting to note, because we didn't have the staff until like World 3 of the run, it's interesting to see like bosses you've met earlier just get bodied by the staff. Like Mole Knight.
Oh, Muncha just got thrown into the turkey.
Ooh.
And hey, Korgax007, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Looks like Explod's doing a good job so far of managing his health.
I don't think there's a single run in the tournament so far that hasn't like accidentally fallen to the turkey on boss rush. So it's really hard to like not pick up a chicken.
Tolu got, or not Tolu. I don't know about Tolu, but David got a really good boss rush.
Oh yeah. Also, we're not 100% sure if it's a turkey or a chicken.
I literally call it both.
Yeah, I just did like a little bit, like 15 seconds ago maybe. Also, I might have just jinxed Tolu. Tolu Muncha.
Oh no, Explode is out of magic. That's not good.
He has backup tonics, we might be okay.
Okay, he's got it.
Good,
okay.
Shovel Knight stun lock from Explode.
Yeah, it was a little shaky at first, but he got it in the end. And it looks like Muncha's just gonna fight Shovel with full health, or almost full health. So, we're gonna see why we need the health management.
It is faster, of course, to get the stun lock, but sometimes, like, if you're not that good at Shovel Knight fight, like I am, sometimes picking up the chicken or the turkey is completely reasonable.
Oh yeah, like, if you don't have a top level time, it's super, like, you definitely should just fight them like this. It's just frustrating having this phase lock that happen.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to just do whatever damage you can, and then if you just so happen to fall to really low health, then clean up after that.
Yeah. Exploud is in the tile room, which looks scary, but actually isn't, because as long as you have a platform behind you when you take damage, you'll just fall right into another platform.
This room is kind of weird. It looks scary. There's platforms coming up from under to help you, but if you just burst over it, usually you're fine. But again, it can be
no,
like that.
He thought he had a burst charge, and he didn't.
That room is always scary, and it's always weird.
Oh man, this is coming down to the wire.
I think that death let Muncha catch up a little bit, so they're pretty much neck and neck at this point.
This race could very well be decided by Plague of Shadows RNG. Oh god, he almost did it again.
So Enchantress is a tricky fight. You want to get her to as lowest health as possible before she starts diving. And then most runners will go under and hit her with the staff. Looks like Exploud might do it.
He got it. That was a really solid kill.
So this next boss is called the Plague of Shadows, which is basically the Plague Knight you'd fight as Shovel Knight, I guess. It runs on the same AI. But if you're like me, and you don't want to fight it, you can stand still for like 23 seconds or 32, I can't remember, it's either 20 or 30 seconds.
I think it was 38 seconds.
Okay. And then basically you'll just win the fight by doing absolutely nothing. It's slow, but it's consistent.
Muncha also got a really good Enchantress kill.
Yeah, that Enchantress was scary.
Yeah, Exploud's gonna have a much easier time with Plague of Shadows because of Big Boom. So even if he gets really bad jump RNG, he can catch him. And he got a really good kill there.
So this last and final boss is the Corrupted Essence. You're gonna wanna... It's only vulnerable when it opens his mouth and you gotta hit the pink gummy thing inside. It opens his mouth to spit out these broccoli bird head things. And you can hit it in this phase, but it's RNG whether it shoots up or down. As you saw Exploud do just there, you're gonna want to hit the little pink thing on the bomb it's standing on. It'll pause for a bit, open its mouth, and then you can hit it.
And time for Exploud. 43:15 is a really good time.
He also got the 2 cycle, I think.
Yeah. If you get really good RNG, you can one-cycle it by hitting it in that first phase, like Pickle said. But since it's RNG dependent, barely anybody does it. And time for Muncha. So, super close race, like less than 30 seconds apart.
Yeah. Really, really good race.
GG to both players.
So I think we might be doing interviews. I'm not sure. Depends if they want to.
Yeah. Let me ask him. Okay, Munch is not going to. Still waiting to hear from Exploud. So good stuff by Exploud, demonstrating how Big Boom is used. He's definitely the runner with the best PB with Big Boom. Still waiting to hear from Exploud.
While we're waiting, oh, we have Exploud here?
Oh, here he is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Exploud, congrats on your win.
I don't know if I have to be happy about my win because goddamn I played bad. That was a really bad run.
Oh no.
Yeah, that death to Spectre was really unfortunate, and
both
that one at the end
was super unfortunate.
Yeah, that one at the end almost tied it up. But other than that, you did pretty good.
Yeah, I got 3 gold during the run, so I guess.
Oh wow, yeah, that's really good. Your propeller kill was really good, and I'm really glad you showed off the lazy King Knight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually gold King Knight by 0.6, so was part of it.
Yeah. Always love seeing Big Boom run.
Something I don't understand is that I still gold split Lost City, even though I'm doing a bad stage every single time. So I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've never seen the whole Big Boom route, so that was a really good run.
Thank you. Yeah, it can be better than that, but yeah, it was. I've not been doing any good runs since my last PB, so yeah.
I know that feeling. So I think you're going to be up against Tolu next.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. No.
You should be. It's your chance to take revenge on him for taking your world record.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that was a long time ago, though. That was nearly 3 years ago, so...
Hey, man, it could be worse. I will probably have to play Flad next.
Yeah, which is technically way worse now.
Yeah. Unless a miracle happens and Pete is amazing.
But yeah...
Oh yeah, wow, Muncha almost PB'd.
Yeah, I know. When I saw him finish like at 43, 47, he told me he has a couple of deaths. I was like, wow. I don't, like, with how I played, that was the only one was gonna win that, so...
Yeah.
So, like, the only 3 stages I actually played well are the 3 stages I actually golded, so yeah. I guess Clockwork Tower was fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny because all my splits are red, like, you know, strong red.
Oh yeah.
Besides the 3 gold splits, so well, actually 2 are light red, but yeah, not much.
Red, gold, red, gold.
yeah. Basically, it's that. It's just that.
That's the worst feeling. That's the worst feeling. Like, why couldn't this happen in a good run?
Yeah. The death on Spectre, I was like, yeah, this race is over. It's already finished.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking it, but like, it's a race and this game is hard, so anything can happen.
Yeah. Plague is hard. Really hard. Especially when you're as inconsistent as myself. Because I can be anywhere between near world record and as far as like a 50-minute run, so
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
insanely inconsistent. But anyway,
Looks like we're gonna have Final Fantasy 1 Rando coming up next.
ooh.
So if you're into that, stick around. Otherwise, we're gonna have our next match is actually in a few hours. Let me double check. I think it's at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, 8
Yeah, I think it's
Eastern
8 p.m.
on
EST, yeah.
Speed Gaming 3, I think.
Yeah, and that's gonna be Pika Pete versus Lance.
And it should also be a pretty good, or a pretty interesting race, because Lance, he started on low percent, and I don't think he's picking up any Arcana in his route.
God bless his soul.
So,
And I know how hard that category is, so...
Alright, so they're probably gearing up to start Final Fantasy, so we should probably sign out. I'm Eric DLC, and I will see you guys later.
Pick up Pinnacles, and I'll be commentating next match, so I'll see you guys in a few hours.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.